Los Angeles, pay close attention. Pay very close attention, because right now, the mayoral race is not just about Karen Bass, Spencer Pratt, or Nithya Raman. This is about whether the people of Los Angeles are actually watching the process. Because for years, California trained people to stop paying attention. The election happens, the results come in slowly, the numbers shift. The media tells everybody relax. And by the time the final results come out, most people have already moved on with their lives. But that's exactly how a political machine survives. Not always by hiding in the darkness, Sometimes it survives because people get tired, distracted, and confused. And when citizens stop watching, politicians start moving. Now, let me be very clear. I'm not saying that I have proof that the mayoral race is being rigged. I'm saying this. A system that takes days, sometimes weeks, to fully count votes is naturally going to create distrust. And in a city like Los Angeles, where people already do not trust City Hall, where people already don't trust the homelessness spending, already don't trust the crime numbers, already don't trust the leadership, you cannot expect people to just sit back and say, yeah, everything's fine, because everything is not fine.
Here's where they're going to try to fool you, and I will not let you get fooled. You're going to hear two words on a loop for the next 2 weeks. Red mirage, red mirage, red mirage. Let me say it in plain English.
Number one, take a look at this number, and if you can't see it, I'll read it to you. 56% of the estimated vote is in. That's just an estimate, but that means that upwards of 44% of the vote is still remaining to be counted.
In California, they count the votes real slow, and the votes that trickle in late, well, the ones counted days after, those lean Democrat. So that red lead you saw last night is going to shrink as the weeks go on.
And historically speaking, and based upon the trends that we've seen with the ballot delivery so far, the later ballots that get counted tend to be more Democratic. So the question is, can Steyer rise as those late ballots get in? Can Hilton hold on to his position? Can Becerra hold on to his position?
That's the mirage. Looks red tonight, turns bluer by Friday. And it's not just me saying it. The guy who runs election monitoring in the state, Carl Mayo, laid out exactly why.
We believe that those initial ballots will overstate Republican performance because Democrats have held onto their ballots to the end. And I believe that Democrat vote share, as this gets from 4 million ballots up to 8 million, Democrat vote share will probably rise to about 50 to 52% of final ballots cast.
And this part's going to make your blood boil. They don't even count the day after the election. The workers go home to rest. They don't crack open the late mail until Thursday.
What you see at 8:05 p.m. is the early vote of mail-in ballots and drop-box ballots predominantly, received through about Friday at 5 o'clock, the Friday before the Tuesday election.
When the number moves on Friday, it's not magic. It's a backlog they built on purpose. The whole machine is set up so that what you see on election night is never, ever, ever the real ending.
It sows the seeds of doubt. People don't trust it, nor should they, frankly. The way we do ballot counting in California is absurd, and it needs to be reformed.
Here's the first thing people need to understand. The biggest issue is not just who wins. The issue is whether people trust the process. You see, California has one of the slowest vote counting systems in the country. Election night is not even really election night anymore. It's more like election month. The state says this is because vote by mail ballots, provisional ballots, and other ballots still have to be processed after election night. And legally, counties have up to 30 days to complete the official canvass. But here's the problem. When people see one candidate ahead, then days later, they see the numbers shifting. Naturally, they're going to start asking questions. And honestly, who can blame them? Because when you already live in a state where people feel ignored, people feel taxed, overregulated, lied to, a slow election count does not create confidence. It creates suspicion. And people should be suspicious. And that is why this mayoral race matters. Because right now, Karen Bass is heading to the runoff. But the question is, who faces her? Spencer Pratt or Nithya Raman? Now, current reporting shows Pratt ahead of Raman, but the race for that second spot is still being watched because ballots remain uncounted. So people need to pay very close attention. And I'm not talking about paying attention emotionally, not blindly, not with conspiracy first, but with eyes wide open. Because if the system is honest, transparency should not be a problem. But if the system is not honest, attention is the only thing that scares it. Now let's talk about the part everyone is whispering about. Spencer Pratt is sitting in second place, okay? Nithya Raman is behind him. Actually, I thought she dropped out. And people are wondering, are they going to find a way to push Pratt below Raman before this thing is over? Now again, we have to be responsible. We don't have proof that anybody is changing votes. We do not have proof that anybody is doing something illegal. But what we do have is a political environment where people already do not trust the people in charge, and that is the real problem. Because Los Angeles has watched billions of dollars go into homelessness with tents still on the streets. We've watched city leaders promise safety while folks still feel less safe. We've watched basic services fall apart. Streetlights out. Potholes absolutely everywhere. Sidewalks broken. I'm tripping. I'm falling. Businesses out of here. Santa Monica looks like a mess. Downtown LA, a mess. Families priced out. So when the same political class tells people to not question the count, people are naturally going to say, hold on, why not? That doesn't mean that every question is a conspiracy. It means we don't trust you no more. It means the trust is completely broken. And when the trust is broken, the burden is on the government to prove transparency, not on us to shut up.
Now ride down to Los Angeles with me, because this next part is even juicier. The mayor down here, Karen Bass, she's already in charge. She's the boss. And last night, her own city slapped her across the face. She got about a third of the vote. A third! When you're already the mayor and only 1 in 3 people will back you, that's not a win. That's your own people telling you they're done. She's the first LA mayor in 20 years forced in a do-over election. And here's the cherry on top. The next morning, she posts online, I love LA, the mayor of 4 million people, and almost nobody clapped. About 1,000 likes. Karen, you love LA? All you want. LA's trying to tell you, get the hell out. Now, the guy chasing her, you know his name, Spencer Pratt. Yeah, I know, the reality TV guy. Everybody laughed, but here's what hits home. He lost his own house in the Palisades fire. The same fire where the mayor was on a plane overseas while her city burned. He lost everything, got mad, and now he's in second place, breathing right down her neck. And DeMaio saw the surge coming a mile away.
And I think that's because there's so many exciting candidates, particularly Spencer Pratt in LA. We've seen a surge in the LA area for Spencer Pratt amongst Republicans.
People connect with him for one simple reason.
She knows it's on. I hope she's ready, because I literally could not be more excited.
He talks like a real human being, not a politician.
Well, obviously God wanted 5 more months of me exposing all the failures of our mayor. So it's going to be a fun ride. I hope she's ready.
Just listen.
Are you ready? I mean, I was born for this, clearly.
Potholes, busted sidewalks, street lights that don't work, moms who can't take their kid to the park without stepping over a guy shooting up. That's not a speech. That's your cousin in LA describing his Tuesday. Now, there's a third one in this mix too, a hard left council member named Nithya Raman, running even further left than Bass, if that's even possible.
As I've said before, this is bigger than just one mayoral race. This is much bigger than Spencer Pratt. This is bigger than Karen Bass. This is bigger than Nithya Raman. The real issue is one-party rule. When one political side controls a city or state too long, power stops being challenged. power stops being challenged. And when power stops being challenged, politicians stop fearing us, the citizens, the people. That's when corruption becomes comfortable. It becomes very comfortable. That's when failure becomes normal. That's when excuses become policy. And that is when everybody inside the system benefits except for us, the citizens. The politicians, they benefit. The consultants, they benefit. The nonprofits, they benefit. The contractors, the unions, the insiders, they benefit. The campaign donors benefit. But us, the regular people, the regular person gets the bill. We get higher gas. We get higher rent, higher taxes, higher electrical bills, lower quality of life, more homelessness, more crime, more chaos. And then when the election season comes around, those same politicians come back and ask for another term like they did not just preside over the decline. That is why people are angry. Not because they woke up one day and became political extremists. No. They're angry because they're paying more and getting less. And eventually, people start asking, who is this system actually working for?
And here's why you should even care who sits in that chair. Not as a team sports thing, as a money thing. The governor signs off on the rules that shut down our refineries. Every time one closes, you feel it at the pump within weeks. The governor's people write the policies that jack up your power bill and bury fees in everything you buy. One party has had total control of the state for 15 years. No breaks. Nobody telling them no. And look at the bill they handed you. So when the top of that ballot suddenly looks different, that's not politics. That's your gas tank and your mortgage payment trying to send a message.
Here's the part that matters most. California didn't just get this way overnight. Los Angeles didn't get this way overnight. This happened because people stopped paying attention. People got tired. They said, what's the point? They said, it's California. Nothing ever changes. They said, the machine always wins. You've heard people say it. I've heard people say it. The machine always wins. And that attitude is exactly what allows the machine to keep winning. Because corrupt systems do not need everyone to agree with them. They just need enough people to give up. They need people to stop voting. They need people to stop watching. They need people to stop asking questions, to stop showing up, to stop challenging the narrative. And that's why this mayoral race is important, even if your candidate does not win, because the real victory is not just in one election. The real victory is waking people back up. When the people pay attention, politicians get very, very nervous. When people ask questions, systems get exposed. When people track the numbers, the process becomes harder to manipulate. And when people refuse to go back to sleep, that is when change becomes possible. So, whether you support Bass, whether you support Pratt, whether you support Raman, whether you support nobody at all, the message should still be the same. Watch the count, watch the runoff, watch the money, watch the endorsements, watch the media, watch the machine. Because California's biggest problem has never been that people are powerless. No, folks have power. The biggest problem is that too many powerful people convinced the citizens that they were powerless. And that lie only works when we stop paying attention.
But here's a secret nobody says out loud.
A lot of people think that you have to convert people who are voting Democrat to vote Republican. Not the case.
You don't have to flip a single Democrat to change the state.
All you really have to do is activate people who have been dormant for years, that are Republicans, that have given up hope on the concept of a Republican in California. Like every single election there ever is, there's more than enough voters that sit out that probably could swing the election in the other direction. So
you just got to wake up the folks who quit. The ones who stopped voting years ago because they figured, hey, what's the point? It's California. Nothing ever changes. Millions of them on the couch. Maybe you've been one of them. And there's more than enough of us to flip this whole thing.